to Lake House Vlogs. Today I'm going to do a homeschool video for you, and I'm going to show you all of the resources that we used to complete our space science study unit. So we have just finished up that unit. We did the space science unit from The Good and the Beautiful, and we really enjoyed it. So I use this with my 3 kids. So I have a 10-and-a-half-year-old, I have a, to remember, 5-and-a-half-year-old and a 3-and-a-half-year-old. And we did this curriculum family style. They all joined in and they all really enjoyed it. And so I thought I would just do a little video. Car going past outside, don't know if you could hear that. It was really noisy. What was I saying? Okay, so I thought I would just show you a look inside of the curriculum for those who are interested, and just show you also the books and resources that I added in to beef up this unit. Alright, so here are all the resources that I used, and just a heads up, I apologise for any wobbly camera work. I'm just working with my iPhone. I don't have any fancy tripods or fancy cameras. This is just me and my iPhone, and iMovie on the laptop, so bear with me. Alright, so let's have a look. So as I said, we did the space science unit from The Good and the Beautiful, and I will link all of these resources below so you can go have a look for yourself. I live in Australia, so to order the physical copy and have it shipped to me is really expensive. So I just ordered the PDF download, and then I printed it off myself at my husband's work. We just paid them, and that's a lot cheaper than printing it at home or at Officeworks. And then my husband just bound that for me, and it's just got a plastic cover on it. So you can have a quick look at this online and get a little look at it, but I'll just show you quickly. So these are all the lessons, and there are 16 lessons in this unit, and we actually did find that a little bit long. I like to just kind of stick to about 8 to 10 weeks for a unit, so I did find this a little bit long. So some of them we doubled up and did 2 a week, and some of them we actually just skipped. So that would be my only thing, is that they are a little bit long. But the curriculum is really just take it, open and go. It's not super complicated. It gives you everything you need. It gives you printable worksheets for the kids to do. It provides you with any of the pictures or links to movies that they want you to see. So it really is open and go, and it was not too many supplies were actually needed, so that's why I really liked that. And it also came with these little books which was included in this, and I just cut them out and assembled them, and they're just information books that you can read to the children. It has lots of great photographs and information. So there was a whole stack of those as well included in the curriculum. So I'll just give you a closer look at the lesson. It just has what you're going to do. It has any materials that you need. It has sections that you read out to the children, and you just go through reading, and then when there's questions that you can ask, and then there will be spots for you to do activities. So this one just says, have the children write the definition of solar system in their science journals and draw a picture of the solar system, and then you can just complete that. Came with fact cards. Super cool. And then also, so there was different activities in there, and then on some, I don't know if it says on that, on some of the activities, it will have a section also for older children, so an extension for older children. So if you do have older children, kind of 6th grade and up, they will include extra things for the kids to do. Included in the pack also as well are these cards that I printed off and laminated, and these were on my pinup board, which you would have seen in the video, just to make a little bit of a fact wall for the kids to, as we read the cards, we then pin them up on our notice board, and the children could read them, and a reminder of the terms that we were learning. This is the journals that we used. As I said, they did include worksheets and things in this, but I chose not to use those. We actually did all of our work in these journals. So saying on a lot, sorry. So for instance, this is one of the activities. They drew and painted the planet that we were talking about this week, and then they have just written the interesting facts or the things that they learned when I was reading to them from this book. I also purchased these beautiful cards. I think I got them from Brave Grown Home, and I will link these below. These are absolutely beautiful. She has painted them. They are watercolor paintings, and again, I just bought them as PDF downloads, and I printed them off myself, and then I've actually laminated them as well. So I bought the Moon Phases pack. Comes with these posters. Again, they are hand painted watercolors, and they come with we're in the southern hemisphere. They come in the northern hemisphere as well. You get both. So I just printed that one off, then the moons, and then that is the northern and the southern hemisphere on that one. They also came with these Moon Phases fact cards as well. That's a whole set of those. And then these 3-part cards, and I'll show you what 3-part cards are because I didn't get all of those out in this set. Also got the solar system set. That is just beautiful, which came with that poster and then this poster that I showed you before. And it came with these solar system fact cards, and they have each one painted on there, and then facts about the the planet. So that has all of the planets in there, and I think some extra ones as well. And then these are the 3-part cards that I was talking about that I got for the moon, phases of the moon and the solar system. So these are excellent. So this set here has all of the planets with their names on it. And then it also comes with the planet without their names, and then the names separate, so that the idea is that they can match all those together. So they're 3-part cards. These are the books that I got, and I will just give you a look inside because it's so hard when you're ordering books online to know what's actually inside of them. So I'll give you a quick look. These are the books that I chose. As I said, I have got 10-year-old, 5-year-old and 3-year-old doing this curriculum. So I have books for all ages. So these are for my younger two, for my 3 and 5-year-old. This Usborne Look Inside Space I ordered off of bookdepository.com, and we absolutely love this book. I cannot recommend it enough. It is excellent. So it's a lift the flap book, and let me just show you. So this one's great. So this is the moon, and it's got great information that is just written for this specific age group, which is what I found really, really helpful. And then it's lift the flap, and then it's double flaps. So then it just keeps going. There's more information. So that's showing you the phases of the moon, which is excellent. So again, just lift the flap, and then it keeps going even further. So this book was really good just to read to my children, and then also my 3-year-old, when my older kids were doing the activities which were maybe a bit too difficult for him, he would just then sit and look at this book himself, and so he really enjoyed looking at the pictures and lifting all the flaps. Goes through galaxies, lots. These are all flaps. I won't open them up for you, but there's all flaps around there. Stargazing and space station. So that is really, really, really good. I would put a link down there for the book depository link as well. So that's really, really great. We really liked that one. My 3-year-old and my 5-year-old love that one. Then the good old Cat in the Hat, There's No Place Like Space. We already had this book from when my 10-year-old was young. And also Cat in the Hat has a really great episode as well for space. I think they're on PBS Kids, but because we live in Australia, we don't get great access to PBS Kids. So I just looked for it on YouTube, and my little guy watched that, and that was super fun. This is also another excellent book, Me and My Place in Space by Joan Sweeney, and I'll link this too. This was really, really good for my 3-year-old in terms of understanding this whole concept of space. So it starts off with this is me. This is, I can see the moon from my room, and it just goes on. This is the sun in the sky, and just beautiful illustrations and simple text for him to understand. Goes through everything in space, and then takes it back to her being in her room and looking at the night sky and then drawing space. So that's a really, really good. We've actually got a series of these books. We've got the family one and another one, I think. So that one is really, really good. So those were the books that I had for my younger kids. And then for my 10-year-old, we picked up this book, 100 Things to Know About Space. And I just actually found that at Big W, and it was only like $5. And this was really good. Obviously, having a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old and 3-year-old looking at this curriculum, he would finish a lot earlier than my younger children. So then he would sit down and just read through this book, and it's just a book with just super cool, interesting facts about everything to do with space. And so he really enjoyed reading that. And it was, as I said, it was just a really good thing to have on hand. When the little kids were still working and he had finished, then he would just grab this and he could read that on his own. And then this is good for all ages, the Usborne Big Book of Stars and Planets. And I picked this up from Kmart. I think this was just $12 from Kmart. And again, just a really great reference book. But what I really liked was the illustrations in this book, and just how it folds out, and you can see all of the planets there, their size relative to each other and their place in the line from the distance from the sun. And it's just got really great illustrations. I love books with beautiful pictures, and again, the kids just really enjoyed reading this book on their own, and then I would sit down and read. I didn't read the whole thing to them in a sitting. We would just choose a section and then kind of just read through that section. So that was a really, really good one as well. Oops, I folded that one up properly. And then this is just one of those cute little viewfinders with all of the planets on, and there was 2 of those, and the kids, my little kids really enjoyed looking at those. And then for my 3-year-old, I also just had like some space puzzles and some Play-Doh with star shapes and things like that he would just play with as my big kids sat at the table and completed their activities. I will link all of those resources in the description box below, so you can have a look for yourself if you'd like to check out any of those resources. As I said, we did this curriculum family style, so we would all join in, my 10-year-old, my 5-year-old and my 3-year-old. We would all sit around the table and I would read to them from the teacher's manual, and we would look at any of the books that were provided and any video links that were recommended, and then we would do the activities. I would, for my little guy, my little 3-year-old, I would, if he wanted to do the activity, I would set up just a simpler version for him to do. Or I would just get out the space puzzles that we had, or give him a book to look at, or the little viewfinder, or get some Play-Doh out. And he was still there, involved in the lesson, listening to what we were talking about, looking at the pictures, watching the videos. So he was still able to be involved in those lessons. And my kids, we really enjoyed this curriculum from The Good and the Beautiful, and I do really recommend it. My 10-year-old is super into documentaries. So what we would do the lesson in The Good and the Beautiful. That was for that week, and then after that I would also pop on a documentary for him to watch, and I would sit down and watch with him too. So we've actually had a really good 10 weeks of learning about space through the curriculum and the books that we're reading, and then watching those documentaries as well. We have Netflix, or I was just looking up videos on YouTube. There's plenty of information out there. So thank you for watching my video today. Please give me a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe below as well. That would really help me out. So thank you once again, and we'll see you next time. Bye.